right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Thursday night. KnicksFanTV Live, presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise on the solo dolo tip tonight. Tonight's episode, the Knicks schedule has been released. I'm going to give you everything that you need to know about the schedule, the key dates, and tidbits. Plus, Spida Watch continues, man. Some more news and rumors coming around on the trade mill on Donovan Mitchell, who's in town in New York City tonight, actually, at Rucker Park. So let's get into it, man. Call me up, 657-383-1509 is the number to call, or you can hit me up on the KnicksFanTV Discord as usual. So to everybody in the chat, man, hit that thumbs up button for your boy. KnicksFanTV Live, presented by Manscaped. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's feeling well. 2 months away, just about, from the Knicks regular season opener. And let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into the schedule breakdown for the orange and blue as it was released. Trickled in a little bit over the last week or so, but as we know, October 19th, they will hit Memphis, take on Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies, man. Memphis Grizzlies obviously coming off of a great season last season, number 2 seed in the West, getting knocked out by the Dubs. And then the home opener will be October 21st against, of course, the Detroit Pistons. You know the schedule makers had that one circled. They said it's obvious. New York Knicks, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, they want revenge. Knicks didn't get Jaden Ivey in the draft. This is box office on a Friday night. Friday night Knicks. Let's get it going. So you got the Knicks opening up at home against the Detroit Pistons. From a Knicks Fan TV standpoint, those of you that know, our home opener fan event is always a blockbuster event, so stay tuned for further announcements on that. We are getting it cooking right now. We're on the phone with MSG as we speak, getting everything coordinated and organized. So just be on the lookout for this year's fan season opener event because it's going to be even bigger than last year and previous years. November 15th. We circled that date because the Knicks take on the Utah Jazz, and it is a national TV game. Do the schedule makers know something? Hey, will Donovan Mitchell be a Knick? That's left to be seen. But November 15th, Knicks taking on the Jazz, and that will be a national TV game. Then you have the Christmas Day game against the 76ers. Obviously, that's going to be a big one. Knicks at home, hosting Joel Embiid, James Harden. Hey, will they have KD? We'll see. That'll be December 25th, Christmas Day. And then Jalen Brunson taking on his old team in the Dallas Mavericks on December 27th. So those are a couple of key dates. You got the defending champs, the Golden State Warriors, coming into Madison Square Garden on December 20th. So that whole Christmas week, that's going to be a big one for the Knicks. And then you have your typical West Coast grinder. Knicks will kick off the West Coast trip in Utah on November 15th, as we said. Will they have Donovan Mitchell? Will they not? That'll certainly change how difficult that game may be. Then the back-to-back head to the Mile High City in Denver, man. That's a tough one. You know, to go to Denver on the second night of a back-to-back, no matter who you play first, is always going to be a tough one. Getting used to the altitude, dealing with Jokic. You got Jamal Murray coming back. Who knows about Michael Porter Jr.? That's going to be a tough game. Then they visit the world champion Golden State Warriors on November 18th at the Chase Center in San Francisco. They'll head to the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix, November 20th, and then a back-to-back with the OKC Thunder, man. So that is a tough 5-game West Coast trip. That's the big one. Obviously, they'll be going back out west. They'll take on the Lakers and Clippers on back-to-backs, which is March 11th and March 12th. But the big West Coast trip is going to be Utah, Denver back-to-back, then in Golden State, then Phoenix, and OKC. So we'll see how they fare there. 13 nationally televised games, and that is down from last year where they had 29. So the league schedule makers weren't feeling the fact that the Knicks did not live up to their expectations of being that 4th seed in the East 2 years ago. So they dropped it down from 13 to 29. Who knows? They get Donovan Mitchell. They could always get flexed into some things as the season progresses. You have 12 back-to-back games, 4 with no travel. And that's one of the things that that the league is looking to cut down on. They're looking to cut down on the excess travel that these teams have to endure. So what they're doing is they're cutting down, number one, on the back-to-backs, and then they're cutting down on travel. And so, as we said, there's 4 back-to-back games with no travel. So 3 of those 4 sets of back-to-backs will be at Madison Square Garden. So they'll have 3 back-to-back sets of games at Madison Square Garden, and then the 4th back-to-back will be Lakers-Clippers. So that's no travel there. All right, so that's how the league is trying to cut down on that. And then also you'll have teams playing the same team on the road. So an example of that is the Knicks will take on the Chicago Bulls back-to-back, not back-to-back road games, but consecutive road games on December 14th and December 16th. You know, usually you'll have home and homes with Boston, home and homes with Chicago, home and homes with Philadelphia. Typically, sometimes with the Nets. Actually, we haven't seen that in a little while. But in this example, they'll play in Chicago twice in the same week, December 14th and December 16th. So that's just a couple of the ways that the league is looking to cut down on travel, the wear and tear, and the back-to-backs as well. Longest road trip, as we said, 5 games in 7 days, and that'll be that West Coast grinder during the November timeframe. A little bit earlier than it was last year, so we'll see how they we'll see how they fare. We'll see how they fare. And this was a interesting chart by Ed Kupfer on Twitter. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me pull this chart up by Ed Kupfer here. This one is Knicks number of back-to-backs for each team. Knicks falling a little bit to the lower end. Not as many. I believe the range is from 12 to 15. 12 being the lowest, 12 being the highest. So Knicks falling on the lower end of that scale. Another graph by Ed. The distance traveled by each team in this upcoming season. Knicks falling about midway through. Close to 40,000 miles. Denver Nuggets traveling, they're going a little way, close to 50. So you got Nuggets, Portland, the Dubs. Obviously, the West Coast teams have a lot more travel. And the Knicks are falling pretty much midway through on the schedule there. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But looking at the schedule, man, I mean, how do they do through the first 10? They'll have Memphis, Detroit, Orlando, Charlotte. Let me try to pull this up on the screen here. You guys can see that one a little bit better. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. All right, let's see this one here. It's a little bit small. Let's zoom in. Take a look at the first 10, man. Can we feel good about ourselves in the first month or so? The Memphis game, hey, anything's possible. You know, it's open at night. You haven't really gotten into your groove yet. You haven't picked up things. Obviously, the grindhouse will be rocking. You know Ja's going to be ready to go. Maybe they'll have Jaren Jackson. We'll see. You know, him coming off of an injury. We'll see if they have Jaren Jackson. It's a stealable game. Certainly a stealable game. The home opener, you got to win that against Detroit. We don't care if Burks might try to score 50 on us. We got to win that. So I'm going 2-0 there. Orlando, hey, that's been our nemesis, man. Orlando's been our nemesis. October 24th, home against Orlando. I'm not throwing that in there as a slam dunk. Maybe with Brunson in here, maybe Spida in here, maybe things change. But Orlando, we know Orlando's had our number. They're coming in with the number 1 pick, Paolo Banchero. That's a tough one. And then you got Charlotte at home. That can go either way. No Miles Bridges. I give the edge to the Knicks there. On the road against the Milwaukee Bucks, always a tough matchup. I'm going to toss that up to a dub. And then on the road against Cleveland, I think that's a little bit tough. So to go through October, I would predict 3-3. I say they steal one in Memphis. They get the home opener against Detroit. I'll give Orlando the game. I'll take Charlotte. And a loss against Milwaukee and Cleveland. I say 3-3 to start off in October. All right, so that's 6. Then you got home against the Hawks. Trae Young coming into town. DeJounte Murray. I'm taking a dub for that. He's talking spicy. Back-to-back Philly and Boston. I'll take 2 L's there. 4-5. And then on the road against Minnesota. Minnesota retooling. You got Stifle Tower, Karl Anthony Towns. Another year, Anthony Edwards. That's a tough one, man. What do you guys think? That first 10. I think I would go 4-6, man. I think that Soda one on the road is tough. So I'm taking a win in Memphis. We're stealing that game. Win against Detroit in the home opener. Loss against Orlando. Taking a win against Charlotte at home. Loss against Milwaukee. Loss against Cleveland. I'll take the Atlanta game. Loss against Philly and Boston on the back-to-back. It might be L in Minnesota, man. So I'm going 4-6. I'm going 4-6. First 10. 4-6. Surprise me. I'll go 4-6 in the first 10. You guys let me know your thoughts. Call us up 657-383-1509. Let me know what you guys think, man. And then, to wrap up the season, when you get into March, you get into April, you're talking about games against Miami, Cleveland, Orlando, Washington, Indiana. A couple games against Indiana. Those could be teams. Hey, maybe you're jockeying for position for a play-in spot. Cleveland for sure. Maybe Indiana. Washington will be there. You figure Miami will be closer to the top of the East. Never know. So seems like they kind of play the end of the season sort of like the NFL starting to do with the end of their season, where you're kind of playing conference matchups, so on and so forth. Guys that are kind of in your wheelhouse, within your range for potential playing spots, and kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. So we'll see how that goes. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. KnicksFanTV Live, presented by Manscaped. There's a couple other things I was saying here in regards to the schedule that was interesting. This is from basketballnews.com. It says a big headline from their work. Teams will travel a bit less, about 5% fewer miles in the air on average over the last season. NBA made that happen by adding in instances of teams having no travel between road games, something that'll happen 88 times this season, up 66% from the last season. There are 55 instances of teams playing consecutive road games against the same opponent. 33 instances of teams playing 2 games in a row against the 2 teams from Los Angeles and New York. Knicks being one of those, where they play the Lakers and Clippers on back-to-back. It only makes sense in Staples Center. And then again, they're minimizing back-to-backs. This year, the number of back-to-backs has lessened by 1.5%, going on average from 13.5 per team to 13.3. And from 2014, that is down 31%. Teams faced on average 19.3 per season. So they're trying to cut that down. And then it's going to be, again, even more interesting to see. I told you guys they're going to be playing this in-season tournament, and that'll probably come next season. Going to be very interesting to see how the season, is organized, or the schedule is organized. How do they factor in that play in that in-season tournament? Because that's definitely coming. Definitely coming. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. Let me hear from Book from Queens in regards to the schedule, man. Book, how you feeling, bro? Long time, man. Book going once. Oh, do we got Book? Book, how you feeling, bro?
Hey, CP.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm fantastic, man. All right, so to get right into it, first of all, our team is obviously hard to predict because we have a thing up in the air. And even though there's a lot that I disagree with when it comes to Treason A. Smith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Let me get to that, Book, because I didn't get to that. You know what? Let me put you on hold. We're gonna get. Let me go to Stephen A. Smith because I got a lot to say in Stephen A. Smith. Then I want to get your take on it. Nice segue by Book. So that was basically most of the schedule situation. All right. Now, a couple things on the Spida Mitchell trade. Let's get to it. Couple things on this Spida Mitchell trade that we want to talk about. Here is Spencer Checketts, who's a host, a Utah radio sports host, who had this to say in regards to the Mitchell trade.
I'm more confident today than I have been. I would put it close to 100% that I believe this is happening before the season. Now, I was told by a source that the Jazz actually have a couple of offers that I was told from other teams outside of New York that they like an awful lot. Now, only time will tell. But final thing, the latest, as Shams and Tony reported that the Knicks and the Jazz have re-engaged with their conversations. What's your understanding today, Andy, as far as our time frame goes of the Jazz moving on from Donovan Mitchell?
Now, that's Andy Larson, who reports for Salt Lake City newspaper. He's going to talk about the Stephen A. Smith trade. But basically, Spencer Checketts is saying that there are other teams who have offers that the Jazz like a lot. And my perspective is I think that's a lot of cap. I do. I don't believe that at all. If they did have offers that they like better than the Knicks, they would have made a trade already. Whether it's Charlotte, whether it's the Wizards. If the Jazz had better offers on the table already, the deal would be done. There'd be nothing to talk about. So I don't believe that at all. I think that's propaganda. I think that's cap. All right, so let's toss that one out the window. Done. Now, on to Stephen A. Smith. And there's a couple of things that I got an issue with Stephen A. I always got issues with Stephen A. But here was Stephen A. on what he heard in terms of the deal. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Here we go.
Desperately need a star. We all know that.
Right.
And so with that being the case, here's the issue. Rudy Gobert messed it up for everybody because the New York Knicks, from what I'm told, are willing to give up as many as 4 first-round picks, possibly 5, but that's their limit. Danny Ainge, being the thief in the night that he's known to be, Danny Ainge wants 6 first-round picks. The Knicks ain't willing to give all that up. So as a result, that's where they're at a stalemate. But if you're the Knicks, you're trying to hold on to R.J. Barrett, I like R.J. Barrett a lot. Hell with that. Let him go if you have to. Utah didn't want Julius Randle, from what I'm told. They don't want him. The Knicks were willing to unload him. Utah don't want him. They want R.J. Barrett. They want at least 6 first-round picks. You can't give up 6 first-round picks. You can give up 4. Give up 4 first-round picks and R.J. Barrett for Donovan Mitchell. I would do that.
Bugging. He's bugging. Look, I agree in that this thing is at a stalemate because of the picks parameters. Every source that you hear says that Ainge wants the picks. We know that. And Stephen A. is right. Look at the precedent that the Gobert trade has set. The Jazz practically got 5 first-round picks for the Stifle Tower. They are clearly rebuilding, and obviously with Donovan Mitchell being the more, splashy, dynamic player, he's going to want equal or more. We know that. We know that the Knicks have 8 picks that they can trade within the next 7 years. 8 firsts. And obviously they're not going to want to give even close to that. So I think that's where the stalemate lies. Well, then to say that that RJ Barrett and 4 first-round picks, that he would do that. No chance. No chance. And if I did do that, it would be maybe one unprotected, and I give the rest of them conditionals if I was doing that. Because, yes, I do think Donovan Mitchell is a better play than RJ Barrett. Let's just keep it a buck. The interest that Utah has in RJ, we've heard varying reports. Are they interested? Are they not? Would they be interested in a player like that they would then have to sign to a rookie extension? We all know he wants the max. We'll see what his true market value will be. But 4 first-round picks in RJ, if you're talking about 4 unprotected, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. The point is to bring talent with talent. I want Mitchell here with RJ, with Brunson, and everybody else, as much as I can keep. And the problem is, as I've said on previous shows, the Knicks have to be careful in terms of how deep into the future they are trading unprotected first-round picks. You want to be able to save those for the next guy that you got to go out there and get. Because that's how this thing is going to work. You go get Donovan Mitchell, you got Jalen Brunson, you're going to have to make another package deal to go get somebody else. So you got to be careful how deep into the future, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, how deep you go in terms of giving up those first-round picks. Because you need those later ones to get another guy. You need that. Unless, and I've said this before, unless you feel like, and when I say you, meaning Scott Perry, Leon Rose, and the Knicks regime, unless they feel like the non-RJ players, namely Obi, Quentin Grimes, IQ, unless they feel like one or two of those guys can really help elevate this team to the next level. We're talking about serious all-star. We're not talking about a role player. We're talking about, can one of those guys become an all-star for this team as they continue to grow and develop? If not, if you don't feel that way, then you can't give up your future draft picks. Because then you have nothing left to build with. You got nothing left to build with. Okay, so that was courtesy of Sirius XM NBA Radio, Stephen A. Smith on the Give and Go show with Rick Hamill and those guys. Shout out to Sirius XM. Now, so that was Stephen A. on Sirius XM. Now here comes Stephen A. on First Take, speaking blasphemous on this Mitchell deal. Here we go.
New York needs a star.
Yeah.
We need a star. I'm not talking about a Patrick Ewing caliber star that needs somebody to throw you the ball 15 feet from the basket for a turnaround jump shot. I'm talking about the star Melo was supposed to be. And to a lesser degree, he was. Donovan Mitchell is 25. There is no LeBron James in the Eastern Conference. There is no Kawhi Leonard in the Eastern Conference. There's Giannis. There's Giannis.
An Embiid.
You got KD. You got Embiid. But give me this dude I can give the ball to when it counts and say, deliver for me. Give me the dude that's going to give me 25 a night, and I know it. Donovan Mitchell is the man the New York Knicks should have drafted. He is the man they should have had. They need to go get him, but you can't give up 6 picks for him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Stephen A., right? You can be loud all you want, but at least be accurate. At least be right. At least be correct. The problem with Stephen A. when he talks about the Knicks on this show is that a lot of times he's wrong. He's wrong. First and foremost, he had the audacity to put Donovan Mitchell in the same category as Patrick Ewing, a Hall of Famer NBA All 51st, then 75. A two-way player, All NBA, All Defense. Show me that on Donovan Mitchell's resume. Patrick Ewing was a star in New York. I don't care about. Then he says, "Oh, we don't need a guy that you got to dump it down to and let him score." The NBA's not that type of game anymore. But back in Patrick Ewing's day, every center was like that, damn near. From Hakeem to Shaq to the Admiral, every center was like that. Now, some of those guys had overall better games. We admit that. But to say that, Patrick Ewing was some slouch, give me a break. I'll put it out there. Donovan Mitchell was not even better than Carmelo in his prime. I agree with Stephen A. We need a star. Absolutely, we need a star. We need a superstar at that. But to completely throw Patrick Ewing and Carmelo under the bus when they were basically playing here with nobody, give me a break. Give me a break. And this is the same Stephen A. talking, I told the Knicks they should have drafted Donovan Mitchell. No, he told the Knicks they should have drafted Dennis Smith Jr., as was a lot of people who said that. As did a lot of people, and everybody was wrong, including myself. But remember, back in June, this is what Stephen A. said about the Knicks in terms of a trade for Donovan Mitchell. Here we go.
New York Knicks are not an organization that's worthy of Donovan Mitchell. Let's just call it what it is. I'm a native New Yorker. I'm a diehard New York Knicks fan. I root for them. They make me sick to my stomach because I'm emotionally connected to this franchise who repeatedly frustrates me and ticks me off year after year after year, with the exception of a couple of years ago when I would stupidly talk about we here. Yeah, finally, and I embarrassed myself with it because I believed enough in the organization. The New York Knicks are a national embarrassment because of James Dolan, and Leon Rose hasn't helped matters any because here you are, you're the president of basketball operations, and you're giving a press conference talking to the media in September.
All right, so that's enough for them. But that's what I mean. In June, the Knicks don't deserve Donovan Mitchell. Forget about it. They don't deserve him. Now, August 16th, August 18th, we need him. We need a star. Not the Patrick Ewing guy, not the Melo guy. We need Donovan Mitchell. You can't make it up. As I said, it is okay to be loud. It is okay to be boisterous and to be animated. This is TV, right? It's entertainment. I get it. It's ESPN. It's Disney. You gotta be that. And Stephen A., he does a great job of being that, being an actor. But at least be right sometimes. At least be right sometimes, man. Because this is embarrassing. If I'm a casual fan, if I'm a diehard Knicks fan, forget the casual fan, because this is what that is the audience that these shows are catered to. Right? Remember, when I was on with Max, 90% of the conversation was around, for the 8 weeks I was on there, 8 to 10 weeks, 90% of the conversation was, what are the Lakers doing? What are the Nets doing? Yeah, obviously we had our war about the Knicks in the beginning of it, and then in the end when the Knicks made the playoffs. But by and large, the conversation was, what are the Nets doing? What are the Lakers doing? Because they're catering to the casual fan. If I'm a diehard Knicks fan, I'm turning on First Take. And to be honest with you, I don't watch the show. Because like I said, when they get to the Knicks, half the time they're wrong. If I'm watching Stephen A. on one side and Bart Scott on the other side, I'm changing the channel. No shade, no disrespect. I appreciate both of their grinds. Stephen A's been on it for a long, long time. Bart Scott has made his way through. No question about it. But if I have to listen to them talk about Knicks, sorry. I'm watching KnicksFanTV. Shameless plug. All right? I'm watching my own stuff. If I want to watch Bart Scott, I watch Bart Scott talk about football. I respect his football commentary. I don't want to hear Bart Scott talking about the Knicks. He'll talk about the Detroit Pistons. That's his team. So, anyway, I say that to say, man, look, I want Spida here. It's got to be for the right price, man. It's got to be for the right price. That's just the bottom line. And we'll just have to see what happens. All the reports that there's other teams out there with better deals, I don't see it. Because if that was the case, the deal would be done. If it was that great. if it was that great. You know. But they got this guy, Stephen A. Like, he's the resident expert on the Knicks. Right? When it was Katie and Kyrie, what did he say to Max Hellman? Oh, I heard it's 95% done. They're coming to the Knicks. 95% done. Forget about it, man. I'm good. Entertaining? Yes. Accurate? Not a chance. There's no way. I take everything by him with a grain of salt. Everything. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Shout out my guy Flashy in the chat. Salute my guy Flashy, man. Long time supporter of the show. Flashy sent the super chat. He says the market dictates the trade and nobody can offer that much, not even close. Salute CP. Salute Flashy, man. We got Gamba the Bard in the chat. $5 super chat. He says RJ and 4 first. Who do you think you're trading? Chelsea Clinton? Salute to Game of the Bar. Louisiana Knicks, $5 super chats. And salute to Knicks Nation. Do you think Tibbs will be on the hot seat if the Knicks are struggling to win games early? I don't know about early. I think it's quality over quantity. I'll say that. I think it's quality over quantity. If they're coming out and looking listless, they're looking lifeless, getting ran out the building, the defense isn't there, struggles abound, then yeah. But I wouldn't necessarily think, he's on a games type of hot seat. I think it's more quality. That's just my opinion, though. All right, let's get back to Book, man. Let me hear what Book has to say. I just finished going through my diatribe. Book, what's going on?
Yo, CP. Now, as Knicks fans, we're all emotional because we're in a tricky situation.
Yeah.
We've been through years of no cap space.
Yeah.
No real picks, right? The mediocrity, no stars. This is the problem. Mm-hmm. Guys like Treason A. Smith and Benedict Kellerman, mm-hmm. like you said, I respect the hustle on both sides. Yeah. That's a highly intelligent guy.
No question.
But they are reacting to the past, not the present. And I can prove it right now.
Yeah.
The only reason the Knicks have the best offer is because Leon and crew. And there's a lot of guys that you get, I know you do your homework, mm-hmm. who put these deals together. Like, to simplify it to Leon Rose shows you not really up on it, right? Mm-hmm. Not just Leon. He's not getting into the granular aspects like that. But the deals that they have put together in the draft, while we have whiffed on egregious drafts, the way they acquired quickly, turned that into more picks, turned this guy into more picks, that's what put the Knicks in this pole position.
No question.
To have the best offer in the first place.
Yeah.
So then the question really becomes about what's the deal. And I think the deal can be boiled. If we're going to oversimplify things, it comes down to this. Whatever the deal is, we have to be able to make another deal after that deal in the next 3 years for a superstar. That's the bar. We love our young players. We overrate our young players. I don't care if it's Cam or Obi or Quick. And I'm literally a huge fan of Quick. I don't care who it is, mm-hmm. but if we retain the ability to get that next deal, it was a good trade. It's going to hurt.
Yes.
Because we're talking about a 25-year-old all-star. But everybody who has these fantasies of, y'all will take Cam Reddish and 4 picks and shut up, guys, ain't going to be like that, ain't going to go like it. That's a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Something's going to hurt. We're going to lose somebody.
It's going to hurt, bro.
But here's where I push back on the mainstream media. Mm-hmm. So singular point is the urgency. I think the Knicks have all of the leverage because of the position they're in. As much as we want Donovan Mitchell, and as an Afro-Panamanian from New York City, mm-hmm. I'm extremely biased mm-hmm. towards Donovan Mitchell, mm-hmm. right? I'm not totally objective on the matter of Donovan Mitchell. Mm-hmm. But as much as we want him, the fact of the matter is we literally lose nothing by not trading for Donovan Mitchell. Whereas the Utah Jazz, they have a disgruntled star, funking up the place, getting wins that they don't want, and most importantly, his contract gets shorter and shorter and shorter as time goes on. And people will be surprised how quickly this goes from you're getting this star for the next 4 years to, and a year, we're trading him before we lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
That's a very small margin that the Jazz have to do that while they're trying to get Wembanyama. I hope I said that properly.
Yeah, no question, man. Definitely appreciate the call, boy. Great points. Great points by Book, man. Throw some fives in the chat by Book. I think number one, as he said, you got to give the Knicks front office credit to be in this position to get this guy. This is part of the reason they were in here. They brought in number one a good capologist in Brock Aller, and they brought in a good scouting director in Walt Perrin, as he said, to be able to go back and go get it quickly, go back and go get a Quentin Grimes, getting a Yaku Biatis, a draft and stash, going to get a Jericho Sims, so damn near the last pick of the second round, last pick of the draft, damn near. So yes, or as a front office, the moves that they have made in order to bring themselves to this point has been pretty good. They haven't been perfect. Some of the free agent deals have been head scratches for sure. Some of the draft picks have been head scratches. I don't need to name names. I'm just saying the situation that the kid is in is not fair. We'll have to see how it plays out. And as you said, Book, yeah, as time goes by, Utah is going to have to really consider where they are with this trade. And to me, it's just going to come down to whether or not the Knicks are going to be willing to part with what Utah wants. And see, I still don't think, whether it's Miami, Charlotte, Washington, I still don't think those guys can top what the Knicks can give. I still don't think they can top that. So it's just a matter of the Knicks not being, just don't be too cheap. Just don't be too cheap in this thing. And get outbid on what some would consider a reasonable deal. But yeah, I do think we're in a good position, man. So to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D joins us in the building, man. Everybody throw a hashtag PE in the chat. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. KnicksFanTV Live, presented by Manscaped, man. CPM a solo dolo. We went through the schedule, gave you guys some of the key tidbits, key stats of this year's 2022-23 season, regular season schedule. And we're just talking about the Spida Mitchell trade update, man. Stephen A. A lousy representative for Knicks Nation. Shout out to Chuck D. Says these mainstream national media casters are making announcements with house money. They make good call predictions. They get raises. They make bad calls. Their salary raises. We in a chess match. No question about it. No question about it, OG, man. If you guys are new in the chat, man, leave me a hashtag new. Type in hashtag new in the chat, and I'll shout you guys out. Also, make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button. Help us get to the next level, man. We're closing in on 54,000 subscribers. My goal for the end of this season, I'm trying to get to 100. Real talk, man. We dream big over here on KnicksFanTV. I'm trying to get to 100, and hey, it's with your help, man. Like, share, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll be on our way. No question about it. Definitely welcome to everybody who's tuning in and watching with us tonight, all around the world, wherever you guys are at. Let me go to the Discord. Shout out to Nenro. Nenro on the Discord. Go ahead. What's your takes?
How you doing, sir?
How you doing, man?
Not just here, man. I see the way the closer and closer it's getting to the Donovan Mitchell trade. Less and less I want the trade to go down. Because I'm with you, man. I really believe in Quentin Grimes, man. And the way I see it is they want too much, and they're using these other teams as leverage. And I don't believe it. I'm like you, man. I think it's all cap. I think Danny Ainge is using it all as leverage. And I really want to see these young guys playing.
Yeah.
And I really want to see Julius Randle go somewhere where he's going to be more, reliable.
Yeah.
And I really want to see Obi Toppin, Grimes, quickly, all these guys just read it out for at least one season to see what they got. Doesn't work out. Next year, we still have those picks, and we can still make those moves.
Yeah.
And that's all, man. I appreciate everything you do, man.
It, man.
God bless.
Well, you sound like you got an accent, man. What's your name? Where you calling in from, bro?
Born in Jamaica, Queens, raised in Miami, my friend.
Oh,
half
nice.
Puerto Rican, half Peruvian.
There you go, man. I was just in Miami last weekend, man. So there you go, man. Appreciate the call.
I tried to make it out when you first were here in the Clevelander, man.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. Work got in the way. But next time you're here, for sure, man. I got you, man.
Next time, no problem, bro. Appreciate the call, man. Definitely. And you know, somebody on Twitter was saying that, you know, obviously we got to get the KnicksFanTV Road Warriors back together next season, do a couple of road trips, a couple of road games. Miami, it's a Friday night, March 3rd, 2023. That might be the one of them. You know, that might be one of them. We're circling the calendar, man. So definitely be on the lookout for that. As I said, obviously the Knicks home opener at MSG is going to be a blockbuster fan event. Don't miss it. Last year was even bigger. Remember, we did the live pregame show for Mustang Harry's, which was a vibe, which was a whole movie. We had, you know, over 100 people inside, and then we had over 100 people at the game as well. And so that's going to be definitely a great look. So make sure you guys stay on the lookout for that. I'm thinking about doing something for the season opener against Memphis. Maybe a live location in New York City. You know, rent out a spot, do the show from there, do pregame, halftime, postgame. You know, incorporate a lot of different things. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I'm, you know, calling some people up right now and seeing if we can make something happen, man. Trying to do it big this year for sure. Let me shout out my hashtag news in the building, man. So to everybody in the chat, Christopher Perez, welcome to the show. Almighty Finesse, you always in here, man, but welcome to the show anyway. Merrick Bailey, we got Matt Hall. We have official LV Dior, Canal Ben Loa. Hope I pronounced your name right. Ninja Dude, welcome to the show. We got Saul Martinez says hashtag podcast gang. That's a new one, man. I think he just gave us a new word for the show. You know, we all have our you know, our primal words for the show. Whether it's hit that thumbs up button for you boys, replay gang, hashtag new and all that. But he says he's with the podcast gang. So if you guys are, you know, primarily podcast listeners, because this show is available in all formats, podcasts as well. Welcome to the video experience. Welcome to the YouTube experience. James Gaines, appreciate it. Who else we got in here? Chico Fernandez was with us opening night. That's a fact. Chico, what's good? Definitely gonna look for you this season, this season opener. Shout out to Share Brilliance. $5 Superchat says Ainge might be spiteful like San Antonio was. Traded Murray to the Hawks for less than what we offered. Let's go Knicks. Maybe, but I like to think, you know, Danny Ainge being an experienced championship executive, I think he's going to do what's best for business, right? Ryan Smith, the young owner of the Utah Jazz, brought him in there for that reason. They're trying to retool. As Book said, they're in the Wemby sweepstakes. I think he's going to go get the best deal available, you know, not necessarily try to be spiteful. You know, business is business. Tony Banks, $20 super chat says, CP, I don't watch First Take. I watch KnicksFanTV. Let's go. Shout out Tony Banks, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's love. That's support. No shade to those guys, but all I'm saying is I'd rather get some more comprehensive coverage. We can still joke. We can still have a good time. We can still laugh and be loud, whatever the case may be. But at least let's try to be, you know, within a ballpark with our takes, you know, whether it's positive, negative, one way or the next. Let's be realistic. You know, I just gave you 2 sound bites of Stephen A. talking out both sides of his mouth. Knicks don't deserve Donovan Mitchell. Now we need a star. He's got to be better than Patrick Ewing, better than Carmelo, and that's Donovan Mitchell. Okay. Shout out to Zigala. Nice name. Team hashtag new. Salute, man. Salute. Webb says we went from 23 TV games to 13. I did say 13 national TV games. I believe I said that. You know what? They may have NBA TV mixed in, so that's where the numbers may be a little bit tweaked. Because some don't consider NBA TV as national TV games. Some do. So there was one where it was 16 national TV versus 29. And then some are saying 13 versus 26. So I think it's just, you know, probably calculating those NBA TV games is what I'd have to assume. back to the phones we go. Let me hear from my guy, long-time listener. He came with us to the first home opener fan event and came out a winner, man. I think Will had what you get, like an autographed ball, basketball or something? What'd you get, bro?
Yeah, I did from Larry Johnson.
That's right.
I was memorized. I still got the ball and everything, bro.
Nice.
Any home opener you doing, bro, I'm gonna be there for sure, man.
Let's go.
CP, how you doing this evening, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm hanging in there, bro. I'm hanging in there. Yeah.
The best we can do, man. Best
No question.
We can do. I just had two topics. So the first, I really do appreciate what this front office is doing, because for the longest, a lot of Knicks fans, me included, were looking at Leon kind of sideways because based on some of the moves that they've done, it just seems like we were drafting well. But for the most part, we were worried that is Leon just here because of his contact list, or can he really run a franchise?
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know that. It wasn't until I was watching you. Shout out to you on SNY with Ian Beck that I found out that Leon Rose's son was his agent, and his it was like some weird connection. I was like, oh man, this is not good. But the fact that we haven't made a very dumb trade gives me hope. They still got to land the trade, but I think that we will get it done, and I don't think it's going to be a king's ransom. And then that's the first topic. The second topic is about Cam. I'm kind of part of the replay gang now, so I saw the last show this morning, but I had a take on the Cam situation. This is how I feel. If you're a Knicks fan and you feel like Cam Reddish won't be a good part of this team or you're saying like, no, he needs to put in the time, he needs to work his way into the lineup, okay, that's fine. But the ones that say, he just got here, the coach didn't give him no playing time, the coach didn't even want him, can we stop pretending like Tom Thibodeau's a good evaluation of talent? Like when he was running Minnesota, did he not trade Zach LaVine instead of Wiggins? Now, this is not the Wiggins on the Warriors now. This is the Wiggins back then. So I'm just like, for me, I do not trust Tom Thibodeau's judgment of talent. Okay,
who's a better player, Zach LaVine or Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler for sure.
So what are we talking about here?
Wiggins should have been the one that should have been traded.
Oh well, you're right on that.
That's up to everybody, but that's what I feel like. And that was Tom Thibodeau that made that decision. And then when it came to Grimes only got on the court due to injury. He had to be forced. So for me, let's give Cam a fair chance, okay? Because he might be a pivotal part depending on how the trade goes. So that's all I'm saying. I just want it to be fair, a fair judgment on Cam, not based on what Tom Thibodeau thinks, because I don't trust Tom Thibodeau's judgment of talent. That's just my personal thing. And then the question for you, what do you think Tom Thibodeau has a good judgment of young talent? And I'll leave that to you. But shout out to you, CP. I'll leave you to that question, and I'll talk to you later, man. Keep it easy.
Okay, appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Look, I think, it's easy to look at the whole Butler having a nuclear reaction meltdown on Minnesota and then ultimately leaving after a year. But he's a better player than Zach LaVine. Let's just keep it a buck. He has better killer instinct. He's a better player than Zach LaVine. So to say that Tibbs doesn't have an eye for talent, I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think his process I think his process goes against a lot of the current thought process of a lot of coaches, in that they want to get their young players in. They want to get them in early. They want to get them experience. They want to get them playing time. Some coaches are like that. I would say a lot of coaches. Look at what Willie Green did with New Orleans. Herb Jones helped turn that thing around. They had Trey Murphy in there getting some run. They still had their vets. They still had their fair share of vets. But some coaches believe of throwing these guys in there trial by fire. Tibbs isn't like that. He wants to etch out your minutes, your time, your scenario, see how you handle that, and give you a little bit more, You're definitely right. Grimes didn't get in until there was injury. But once he got in, he was in until he got injured. And Tibbs spoke glowingly of him. And I think it was Stefan Bonnie of the Daily News that did have this quote. He said, look, Name the young player, whether it was from Chicago to Minnesota to here, that Tibbs buried that became a star somewhere else. So I think it's his process of getting these guys in here, of getting these guys a considerable amount of playing time. That is, somebody in the chat said, antiquated. And I think I can agree. You know, you look at how Steve Kerr integrated Moses Moody and Kuminga with the Dubs. And basically saying, look, he wanted to see different combinations. He wanted to see how these guys play with the vets and vice versa. Get these guys, get their feet wet. Now, when playoff time came, they were nowhere to be found. But at least during the regular season, he wanted to get them in there so that, you know, they can get some experience under their belt. And when the playoffs came, you didn't see those guys. You didn't see them. It was Otto Porter. Iguodala was in there. He went with the old guard. Tried and true. So, yeah, you know, everybody has you know, their philosophy in terms of playing time. Raptors, Nick Nurse, a little bit different school. Raptors, all those guys are getting playing time. You know, Delano Blanton and Chris Boucher, you know, all these guys. They got a wing factory in there. They're just running guys in there. Those guys are getting run. So, but I don't necessarily think he doesn't have an eye for talent. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I just think his process leaves a lot to be desired. But I still point to quickly in his rookie year, had an outstanding preseason and earned his way to 20 minutes a night. As a rookie. So it's ups and downs. It's ups and downs. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Who saw the Black Ops run that Jalen Brunson and Obi had? They look pretty good out there, man. Jalen Brunson, Obi Toppin running the ones and twos at Black Ops. You had a couple other notable NBA players in there. Saw DeAndre Jordan in there catching that work. Brunson in there throwing lobs to Obi, man. He was looking good out there, man. Took the braids out, was free flowing and running out there, man. Yeah, Brunson and Obi running out there with Chris Brickley's Black Ops basketball. There's Brunson splashing one in DeAndre Hunter's eye. Obi, get that out of there. Obi blocking shots out there. So those guys are trying to build some chemistry early, and you like to see that. Let's see. Hopefully, Obi's with Brunson out there, and they get an opportunity to show and prove out there for the Garden Faithful. Let's go to Harlem World. Hector, what's going on?
Get your thumbs up.
Let's go.
CP, what's going on, bro?
Hey, how you feeling, bro?
Yo, I'm feeling good, bro. You know, I had to call in, tap in with the Brody real quick. But, yo, CP, I'm going to get right into it.
Let's go.
You know, Koofy Cake Smith up to no good again. Feeding tabloids, lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you know, it's always a mess. But, CP, I actually wanted to talk about, the Donovan Mitchell news. Personally, shout out to the first caller you had. Panama definitely in the house.
Yep. Salute.
But I wanted to talk about what you thought. Me personally, CP, I don't know, because I know we have, in a sense, the leverage, but like the caller previously said, I mean, Donovan Mitchell is not going a quarter on a dollar. Danny Ainge isn't doing that.
That's right.
But as the days go by, as you know, his leverage starts to decrease even more and more. So for us, we know if the deal does go down, we're going to have to give us somebody that we obviously love. It's going to be either Quentin Grimes or it's going to be Obi. I remember you and Alex talking about if it was up to specifically you said it'd be Obi that'd be in the deal. Mm-hmm. I agreed with you because I don't want Quentin Grimes going anywhere. But I want to hear from you. What would you think of this deal, CP? Mm-hmm. They if they trade Donovan, they obviously are in rebuild mode. Mm-hmm. Utah is in a whole rebuilding mode. So with Evan Fournier still on the team, what if we were to add Evan Fournier in that deal? Obviously, they're not going to be that interested in that cap space move because they're rebuilding, but they got to rebuild. So what if we were to attach Jordan Clarkson to that deal? I want to hear what you think about that and just hear from you, bro. Thank you for the call.
Appreciate the call, man. Well, I would always appreciate the call, Hector. I think Fournier is going to have to be in that deal regardless to make the salaries work. I think there's a good chance that you're going to have to put Fournier in that deal to make it work. Now, to bring back Clarkson, and somebody else had brought that topic up the other day, I think it just depends on who's coming out. Like, if you're going to deal quickly, then, yeah, I would love to bring Clarkson in here because you need a six-man to come off your bench. You need that instant offense. So it all depends. I think this will be a larger deal when it finally does get done, if it does get done. I think it will be part of a larger deal. Could it be Clarkson? Could it be a Bogdanovich coming back with Spida Mitchell? Is it one of the guys that you just acquired from Minnesota? Is it Pat Bev? Is it a Jared Vanderbilt? You know, even though Vanderbilt's a young player, I would have to think Utah would want to keep him. Is it Malik Beasley, a guy who I've liked for quite some time? So I don't think Clarkson would be a bad idea. As you know, if you're losing your instant offense off the bench, which is like a Quickly, but you don't necessarily want a redundant piece off the bench because then Quickly gets buried. Could Rose be in the deal as well? We'll have to see. You know, we'd have to see. Almighty Finesse says Tibbs would love Vanderbilt. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Blood of the Panda. Oh, the OB Hive, the OB Avengers in the chat. He's coming for me in the chat. Listen. Don't send me any super chats when OB's once again buried on the bench with Julius Randle here. All right? Don't call here complaining. He's, as somebody said, he's looking good on the tapes, on the workout tapes. But is he once again going to be finding himself buried as a bench role player? We'll see. I don't see how he can if him and Julius are sharing the team again. Shout out to Mr. Knicks 101. $5 super chat. He says, I would trade RJ for a small forward that could shoot and defend that can pair with D. Mitch. Who's that? If you have a name, let me know. Let me know. Yeah. Here's Blood of the Panda. Julius can't space the floor. Trade him. Stick to the plan, TP. I'm not the GM. I'm not the coach. Julius is here. What do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you? You want me to wish Obi into the starting lineup? We could do that. If it's sad, if it floats your boat. We could wish. Okay, yeah, here's my starting lineup. Obi at the 4. if that's what you guys want, sure. We could certainly wish that in there. Why not? Okay. On the phones, we're gonna go to oh my God, Tom from Huntington, and then we're gonna go to Boss in the Discord, BAUS. So you're on deck. Get ready. Tom from Huntington, let's go, my guy. How you feeling?
CP, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. How's it going,
shout out to you, everybody in the chat, and all real Knicks fans, real ones.
Yeah.
The fact that Steve, and don't forget Manscaped, because come on, you know how it is.
No question about it, bro.
And it's summer season, Michael Jordan. I listen, preaching to the choir. As far as Stephen A. Smith, how dare he belittle the great Patrick Ewing, who was probably my favorite Knick of all time. How dare he belittle him? And no shot at Spida, but come on. You got a long way to go, buddy.
Right.
A long way to go. Just look at the resume.
He just got here.
And whatchamacallit. As far as the deal, it's taking a long time to happen, but you know what? I kind of like it in a way, in a weird way, because I just feel like the ownership, the the management team, I just feel like they have more of control of what's going on. Even though sometimes I'm confused at the plan, it seems like they have a plan. So, hopefully they can pull out a good deal where we don't give up too much. I like the young guys that we have, but I'm not going to overvalue them. Remember, years ago, people had like Landry Fields practically in the Hall of Fame after his rookie season. So we can't get crazy. Let's just take our time. We already know what Spida is. And as far as everything else is concerned, listen, you keep doing the great work, rapid fire like always, and we'll definitely talk soon, man. Take care.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Tom. And as usual, man, Tom from Huntington, always repping the sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you support our sponsors. You support our sponsors, you support us. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. This right here is just a Lawnmower 4.0, but like I told you guys, man, they have a ton of other great products for today's man, whether it's shampoo and conditioner, lotion, body wash, deodorant, cologne, foot deodorant. They have ball deodorant, all right? Yeah, man, it's very serious out there, fellas. So go out there and get that, man. Manscaped.com, promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And as Tom said, look, man, Liana and these guys, they want to build a team. Yeah, they want Spida, but they still want to be able to build the team going forward. You can't just say, well, we brought you Spida Mitchell and we have nothing to build with the kid. So you got to be smart about it. It can't be a by any means necessary type of deal. You have to get the deal that works for you. There's no question he can help this team. There's no question he would improve the team instantly. But it's got to be at the right price. Because you still need pieces to build with down the road. There's just no other way around it. Shout out Keith Watkins, $10 super chat. To Spida is going to cost big time. I'd give as many picks as needed to get it done and keep the young core. 10 players, 25 and under already. No way we need 22 picks over the next 7 years. Give the picks, keep the core. As I said, if you believe that the non-RJ Young core, if you want to throw Cam in there, Obi, Quentin Grimes, IQ, one of those four guys has to turn into an all-star caliber player if you're going to consider giving up more than, say, 5-6 picks. Because as I said, if you're going to give all those up, when it's time to go get the next guy, what do you have left? That's why it's a tricky trade. All right, let's go to, I told Bouse he was next. Boss on the Discord. Boss on the Discord, what's going on? Boss. How do you pronounce your name? Go ahead and unmute your mic on the Discord. Going once? Oh, he's not ready for the big show. All right. We'll bring in, we'll queue up Jan from DC on the Discord. He'll be our closer. Let me hear from a couple more people and then wrap up. Let me hear from, let's go rapid fire. Keith from ATL. Keith, how you feeling?
Hey, how you doing? First off, I wanted to say I appreciate all the work you do. I know this can't be easy. I followed you for a few years now. I don't call often. It's still like my second or third time, but you do a great job, and you don't get as much. I'm sure you don't get as much appreciation as needed.
Appreciate it.
I just kind of made the comment. You just read it. I'm Keith Watkins, by the way. I just made the comment. If it was me, there's no way we need 22 picks over the next 7 years. I agree we don't need to give up everything, and I know it's going to hurt. I personally would try to keep as many shooters as possible, because if you look at the breakdown of this team, if we get rid of Fournier, which I know is going to probably have to be done just for salary purposes, Grimes is a shooter. If we bring in Mitchell, he's not the greatest three-point shooter. Brunson's not the greatest three-point shooter. RJ's, inconsistent with it. We all know what Randall is. We don't have any shooters. So if everything's got to get, 2 points and to the rim each and every time, I just don't see that as a sustainable type of offense all year long. So that being the case, I like the fact that I like the suggestion you said about Beasley. Beasley's a shooter. if we got to get rid of somebody on the young core, which we're going to have to do, I hate to say it, but it, in my opinion, would have to be Quick, because Quick is probably the most valuable. I know they want Grimes because he's the perfect piece for them as far as contract and ability.
Right.
They got him for 3-4 years without having to pay him. He's already shown that he's going to be at least bare minimum a rotational piece. He plays the type of game where he can fit in any offense on any team. So I'm thinking we do whatever we need to do to keep him and all of our shooters, or as many shooters as possible. Like I said, we ain't gonna be able to keep Fournier, but if we can keep Cam, I know that's gonna cause a lot of people don't want him and everything else. I'm here in Atlanta. I've got a chance to see him play, up close for the last few years here. Other than COVID, nobody was able to go in there and see him, but I think he's got a shot as far as being able offensively to produce big numbers in big positions, because everything he does is just so fluid. It's real easy for him. Basketball is easy for him. It's just whether he's going to get a shot and whether he can do it mentally. But I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I know that was pretty long-winded.
No, all good, bro.
I don't get a chance to call off and all, but, again, great job. I appreciate what you do. I try and catch you as often as possible. So keep up the great work.
Appreciate it, man. Keith from ATL. Appreciate the call, man. Yeah, we have to let him rock, man. I mean, hey, Keith spent money here. You know what I'm saying? He bought his time. So we appreciate that. Appreciate all the super chats, man. Appreciate all the support, whether it's monetary or not. Like I said, there's other ways to support this channel. But definitely appreciate Keith for the super chat and the comment. And he's right. I think Grimes is the most attractive of the non-RJ Young core for many reasons. Number one, just his overall archetype. And that's just something that the league needs. You can never have enough wing depth. And the fact that of the three guys between Grimes, Obi, and IQ, he still has the longest time left on his rookie deal. Just by a year, but it still means something, because you don't have to pay him. And like I said, the type of value that you can get from a guy of his caliber and where he was selected in the draft, that's great value. He'd be a nice pickup for any team, given his production potential as a role player. I'm not talking about him being an all-star or anything like that, but as a plug and play who can fit in with anybody. And at the cost, it's a good pickup. I think Grimes is the guy that they're really looking for here, man. I really do. So we'll just have to see how it plays out, man. A lot of guys mentioned before the fact that Donovan Mitchell is from Panama. We had a couple guys repping Panama as well, man. Where are you guys repping from, man? Let me know where you guys are tapping in from. Throw your cities or your country in the chat. You might want to throw your flag out there. That's cool too. Throw it out there. I'll shout you guys out. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Take a couple more calls and then wrap. Shout out to Shane Mack, $20 super chat. Shane Mack from New Jersey, always tapping in with us. How many people we got in the chat right now on this Thursday night random show? 1,700 in the chat, man. 547 likes. Let's get up to 1,000 likes. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. KnicksFanTV Live, presented by Manscaped, as my guy Tom from Huntington said so eloquently. All right, who we got in the chat? Shan BK repping Guyana. Okay. We got John E repping Panama in here. Lee from Huntington, LI. How you feeling? McQuell Wells, Connecticut, New Hampshire. So we got New England in the building. Salute. Hospi checking in. Where you at, Hos? Hospi's in Port Fortin, Trinidad. So he's in TNT. Stafford Don is in TNT. So I don't know if you guys are close to each other or what. Hey, link up and talk Knicks, man. We have Josh checking in from Melbourne, Australia. Shout out to my guys in Australia. Definitely appreciate all of your support. Who else we got in here? We got Ian C., longtime listener from Montana. I don't think Ian has ever called in, but we've had calls in that region. I think we did have someone from Wyoming. Definitely spoke to someone from Iowa before. So salute to that. Salute to that person for sure. Fort Hood, Texas. Dehan, how you feeling? Yankees lost again. Yankees getting scrubbed out. I was watching some preseason football, getting ready for fantasy football as well, man. So definitely the seasons are changing. This is my favorite time of year, August to September. Great time of year, man. You got football, you got basketball on the horizon. Baseball, if you have something to play for heading into the postseason, it's a great time. Russell Reed, Jamaica, big up. Salute, salute, salute. Yeah, man. All right, a couple more before we wrap. Let me go to Jan from DC. Jan, how you feeling?
Doing pretty good. I just have a couple points. First one is that I think that all that fake drama and stuff that that ESPN peddles is sort of, I think, advantageous for you and the content creators for Knicks. That's how I find you. I don't watch ESPN at all anymore. I listen to you. I listen to Knicks Film School and a couple others, and you know, it's much more concentrated. There's no fake hot takes. There's just good conversation, and I think that's really what people want. So thanks for that.
Appreciate it.
And my other point is, I know that everyone thinks that the longer this plays out, the more leverage the Knicks have. But if you just look at it from Ainge's point of view, there's a couple of things where, you know, some of our assets get worse as time goes on too. Grimes' rookie deal is a year shorter if they wait on it. You know, Obi and Quick come closer to, you know, having to get extensions, which makes them off of the rookie deal. And you never know how many of these first round draft picks this upcoming year are going to convey. Like,
that's right.
You know, Washington's we're definitely not going to have the Mavs pick, and a couple of assets sort of go away. So, you know, I think the Knicks are a little bit on the clock for this season too, because I mean, a couple of those, you know, the Mavs pick, our pick.
Problem is, does Ainge want those picks?
Yeah.
You know, I have to think he wants the unprotected. I don't think he cares about those conditionals, man. That's just me. I think he wants unprotected 4 or 5 of those things.
I think so too, but like there's a limit on how many you're gonna trade of him, right? Like,
yes, of course.
I mean, like, I don't think the Knicks are trying to trade 3 unprotected picks. You got to think like in the latest one there'll at least be top 5 protected, because you don't know. I mean, you don't know what happens that far in the future. But I'm just trying to say, like, you know, some of the Knicks assets sort of devalue over time too. So it's I think both teams are sort of on the clock. I go back and forth. I hope the deal gets done, but if it doesn't, you know, I'm comfortable. I'm excited to see what this team can do this year. Even, you know, with the improvements with Brunson, Hartenstein, you know, I'm excited. Anyway, thanks for the call, man.
Appreciate it, man. Always appreciate it. Jan from DC on the check-in. Yeah, look, I would love to see how this team looks again another year. I want to see how Brunson mixes in with these guys, as he said, Hartenstein as well, running with that second unit. How does the offense switch up a little bit? You know, Tibbs had a quality passing big man in terms of Joakim Noah. Obviously, Hartenstein not in that atmosphere, but stratosphere rather, but someone who's capable of making plays, of having an offense or a couple sets being run through him and making smart plays, finding guys cutting to the basket, you know, open things up a little bit. He's not a complete floor spacer, but certainly a guy who can knock down a mid-range shot. And again, you know, solid offensive awareness to make quality passes and just add a little bit of a wrinkle to that Knicks offense and to the Knicks second unit. So let's see how all of that plays out, man. But like I said, I think Ainge he's going for the jugular. Unprotected. I don't think he wants anything to do with those conditionals, man. I would try. Obviously, you want to try. That's why the Knicks got him. But he wants those unprotected first-round picks, no doubt about it. All right, a couple more before we wrap. I got to hear from Dan from LI. Dan, how you feeling?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? I just wanted to say thank you for everything you do.
No problem.
Community. Always watching you, man.
Thanks.
I just want to say, I know it's not obviously not up to me, But when it comes to Knicks and trade for Donovan, obviously I want Donovan. Who doesn't? But I think the most I give up for him is probably Quickly in like 4 picks. I think Quickly is probably the most easily replaceable player we have. If we really look at it, Bones Highland, Tyrese Maxey, they're exact copies. They could do the same thing. They offer the 3. They offer the playmaking. It's an easy trade. I think we should go Quickly if we had the option. I like Grimes too much. I like the team. I feel like I don't, even if we don't get Donovan Mitchell, I think we're going to do fine. I like Obi too much to involve him, but I don't know if Obi. I don't know if he's in game minutes, but
yeah,
that's just me.
I agree, man. Appreciate the call. Oh yeah. I think Quickly is replaceable, but I think he's also a nice piece for this bench. One of the things where he excelled at in terms of the shot creation areas is pull up threes. That was something that you just didn't have so much of, right? Especially in your top guys, whether it was Julius or RJ. Especially Julius this year took a huge step back in that category. So that's why Quickly was so dangerous with that second unit. And then his playmaking ability, as we saw, took a step forward last year. I think we could all agree on that. So I thought you saw a lot of maturity and development out of Quickly's game. At least I did. Is replaceable? Sure. But I think he can also continue to grow with this team. I think Quickly can continue to grow with this team. I don't think he's hit his ceiling at all yet. He's just going into year 3. Let's hear from Dan from Jersey, and then we'll close with the closer, J Boogie. Dan, how you doing?
Kaloke, wah.
How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just wanted to give a quick allegory on the whole RJ thing. Mm-hmm. Or is it a metaphor? I don't know. But in boxing, one of the most important things, aside from the jab, is the feint. You got to feint your opponent. You got to make him think something's coming so he reacts the way that you want him to react so that you can put him in prime position for an attack. That's exactly what these reports are. I feel like someone in the Jazz organization probably leaked it to Stephen A. Smith. If it isn't that Stephen A. Smith, it's just like making stuff up at this point just to talk about something. I feel like it's really just a feint. We know they don't want RJ. We know they don't want to pay him, so I don't really care about that. I'm not including Obi in any trade for Donovan Mitchell. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell being a secret Afro-Latino. But I'm not throwing Obi in there. Sorry. That's the only piece that we have that legitimately fits with a team comprised of RJ, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson. So I'm not letting go of that. But still, go get him, man. I like to play the long game. The longer we go, the less his value, the more his value drops. So you know what? Keep it going, baby. Let's get it.
Let's go. Dan from Jersey, man. Always appreciate the call, Dan. And we'll wrap it up with closer, J Boogie. Let's go.
Salute. 3 capital S's. Blessings. Help. Safety to you all. Everybody rocking and following this KnicksFanTV. Appreciate you, love you, and keep doing what you're doing. You're your own roadblocks in life, man. Be a successful person within yourself. I said I wasn't coming back until they started making some type of breaking news, but I see they back talking again. But what are we talking about? Danny Ainge, stop playing games with us. You playing Texas Hold'em. We playing Knicks Hold'em. Stop playing games and send this dude over here. Y'all ain't got but 5 games on the board this year to be seen, and one of them's the All-Star game, so that don't count. You know what I'm saying? They got us playing y'all 11-15. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. Donovan coming home to go ahead and do what he got to do is smash you and let you know this is where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? But real quick, I'm going to get at you, Steve. Steve, stop acting like you're a fan. You're not a fan. You're a broadcaster. Stop acting like you're a fan to the New York Knicks. You don't buy no jerseys. You don't buy no Knicks fitted hats. You don't come and sit with the crowd. You don't walk around the building at the end of the game. You don't ride no subway. You're too big time for all of that. So stop telling everybody you're a Knicks fan and leave the real Knicks fans be the real Knicks fan. You talk about the first take. Everybody following Knicks fan TV, we're going to be the ones to take you off your first take real quick. And then how you going to be then? Stop talking about Patrick Ewing and stop talking about Melo. Salute, 3 capital S's. Everybody have a blessed one, evening night, and have a great day tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to talk too much, but real quick, we back on Christmas, 12/15. We back on Christmas. We about to make that video come November, so be prepared and listen out for that. Shout out to my man Papa Left and shout out to Cully. Yeah, I made that song for a special reason because I know we're gonna be on Christmas for years and years and years to come. So get ready for that. Everybody have a great evening. Salute, 3 capital S's.
And on that note, the closer closing the show. Great show, everybody, man. Great show. We broke down the schedule. Spida Watch continues. As far as the schedule, man, what are some games you guys are most looking forward to? I mean, half the teams aren't even finished. Where does KD go? Where does Donovan Mitchell go? Where does Kyrie go? That's still big. That is still big. But obviously, we broke down some of the key matchups, some of the key dates. I'll tell you one team I'm interested in seeing, man. It's that OKC team. Had a chance to look at some parts of it in Summer League, and it's just a very intriguing young team, man. Interesting to see how the Knicks play them. SGA, Josh Giddey, the new kid. His name is slipping me right now. That's an interesting team, man. That Oklahoma City team is very interesting. Very interesting young team. Gonna be interesting to see how the Knicks match up with them. Chet Holmgren. No, his name was slipping me for a second, but Chet Holmgren and OKC. That's certainly a team I'm interested in seeing how the Knicks match up. And we'll have to see how it goes. And look, as far as the Spida Mitchell situation, hey, like I said, it's just a matter of what is the price going to be here. Stay tuned, and absolutely lock in the KnicksFanTV, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell, because as soon as news breaks one way or the next, we are here to talk about it. Let me refresh and salute to the Superchats. Salute to Charlie Correa. Charlie in the building. He says, I'm definitely at the Trey game November 2nd. We might have to be in the building, Charlie, man. You know how we do, because in the past, we do our pregame show from shoot around. Then we'll be at the game. Then we'll do post game from outside MSG. Charlie's always in the building with us. So shout out to Charlie and his crew. Shane Mack says, Spida and no Spida, we're good. We have a point guard. Let's roll. Hit that thumbs up. See ya at the opener. Shane Mack is going to be in the building. Anthony D says, CP, who says the next guy has to come via trade? Isn't that the part of Donovan Mitchell to allure and attract free agents? Yes, but the problem is, or not the problem, but the way things are going, a lot of these superstars, a lot of these megastars, they are taking the bag first. They can always get traded at any time. Look at the precedent that's being set. They are taking the bag, and then when they're ready to get up out of town, they are sticking you up and walking out the back door. That's what they're doing. As they should. Go get your money. So, free agency, it's just seeming, less and less likely that you're going to attract premium quality stars on the free agent market when they can get their money, get the extra year and the 30, 40, 50 million extra, and then just get traded to your team later on. Gotta be legend. Costa Rican Cologne 2500 says, salute, bro. Pura Vida says, Spida is a great player, but you can't get off the house to stay with the lawn. Keith Watkins, appreciate it. Charlie says, CP, if you have an opening day event, trust we'll be there. Excited to have our Knicks and KFTV back. Yo, we're 2 months away, man. 2 months away. Louisiana Knicks says, CP, I would like to know, what is your offer to the Jazz for Mitchell? I mean, how far would you go to get him? Now, I know the last time I gave you guys this, I was wilding out. I was doing a live show from Vegas. I definitely had the vid at that time, so I was going a little crazy. I was going a little delirious, and I went way overboard on an offer. But I was more so just stating the players that I would give up. But in this situation, I would go. Obviously, you got to go Fournier for the salary. I told you I don't want to give up Grimes, so I give up IQ Obi. I try to give up the 2 23s. The Knicks pick the Dallas pick. And the 25 first round, unprotected. Throw in a couple conditionals if you want. I'll give him 2 unconditionals. I mean, 2 conditionals with that. I do it. That would be the primary infrastructure. 48 IQ Obi, the 223 picks, and the 25 unprotected. That would be the primary framework of a CP the franchise deal. Yeah, that's it. Mr. Knicks 101 says, I would trade RJ for a small forward. Okay, got that one ready. Ryan Mammal Chuck D says, Dizzy World Disney gotta keep ESPN eyeballs and eardrums. SAS gotta fill out the air. That's a fact. AKA Air SAS. Stephen A. Smith. We're in a good position and we can't keep everybody, and Tibbs ain't playing everybody. Stay cool. The consolidation has to happen. You know, they do have to consolidate. We've been saying that since last year. Could this be the move? Yeah. Kevin Howley says, CP, this being cheap but not stupid. Okay. Louis Corpeño says, CP, I don't watch First Take. I watch... No. That was Tony Banks. Louis says, 3-3's my birthday. Game gonna be a nice trip. No doubt. Joseph Chavez says, Stephen A. came back from vacation smoking something else. Who else? Louisiana Knicks again says, salute to Knicks Nation. Do you think Tibbs will be on the hot seat if the Knicks are struggling to win games early? I think I responded to that one. No, I don't think so. I think it's quality over quantity. I think they have faith in him. I do. Joseph Chavez says, I'm surprised FanDuel DraftKings hasn't approached you to promote sports betting. Pretty big in New York. Would love to hear your take before a game. Well, we did have a nice relationship with Prize Picks. We'll see what happens there. We'll see. We're definitely talking to a couple players here and there. We'll see how it all pans out for next season. Sage of the Knicks Path says the deal for Spida is happening Labor Day weekend. We can relax until then. Okay. All right, so Sage of the Knicks Path has that, man. All right, people, as you guys know, the protocol, man, the show is available in audio podcast format, man. No reason to miss it. Catch it on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts, we are there. And we hope that you leave us a review. It definitely goes a long way. Remember that this show is presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Get your snaps. I'm getting ready to ship out a couple more snaps tomorrow. My guy TM just got his. Rhyme Animal Chuck D, I got to get your other snap. You already got a snap, but I got to get you another one. Gamba got his recently, so I'm getting ready to ship out the next batch of snaps. And yeah, man, just continue rocking with us, man. Continue supporting us. We appreciate it in any way, shape, or form. Like, share, subscribe. It goes a long way. We'll check you guys next time for Knicks Weekly. Coming up either Sunday or Monday. Look out for the notification. And we'll see you guys then, man. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Stay safe. We'll talk to you, man.